Right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Vendo podcast. I've got Dariya Smailova here. She's our digital media buyer. I'm sure you've seen her on past episodes quite a bit. And I'm Nicolas Martinez, the senior marketing strategist. Today, our episode is going to be on Instagram and how you can better leverage Instagram to build up your engagement, build up your audience, and of course, build up your sales on Amazon or Walmart.com or wherever you want to drive it, really. But our main focus today will be Amazon. So Dariya manages the Instagram ads at Vendo, and I manage a lot of the organic side of Instagram. So, working on the Vendo Instagram, working with some of our brands, social media teams, providing consulting and advisement, sometimes actually managing the scheduling of the content. We also do a lot with influencer marketing, driving back to Amazon. So we'll touch on, some of those different services that we offer here, but really just want to focus on all of the tips, tricks, and knowledge that can help you, grow your business through Instagram. So before we get into all the, the knowledge and the tips and tricks, we have some interesting statistics here on how big Instagram is and how important it can be to your business.
Yep. Hey, everyone. So Instagram is often cited as one of the best platforms for e-commerce companies to establish a presence. While Facebook and Twitter can be helpful for selling, Instagram is great for actually return on investment. And we have this amazing statistics from the last year that shows that 70% of Instagram users are actually 13 to 17 years old. 64% are 18 to 29, 34 to 49, 21 are 50 to 64, and only 10% are over 65 years old. Instagram users tend to be very educated, and 42% actually graduated college. So that's like a great buying force right there. And 32% of adults, they make between $50,000 to $75,000, and 42% are making over $75,000. In simple words, Instagram users have a lot of money to spend. Also, Instagram can provide a lot of benefits to Amazon sellers. 60% of users, they learn about the new products through Instagram. So it's great if you have strong Instagram presence for both your website and Amazon. And that's all with my statistics.
No, that's great. It's always nice to kind of set a foundation there with some stats, with some facts, and to help reinforce, why you want to invest resources into Instagram. So, a lot of what we're going to be talking about today, as far as tips and tricks go, again, can be leveraged regardless of, whether you're trying to drive to Amazon, but we'll try to link it back to Amazon and different ways to maximize results there. So first, I think it'd be good to talk about some of the Instagram audience growth tips for 2020, right? Because this changes, and more specifically for we're going into Q3 now, 2020. So some of the tips. Number one, creating an IGTV series. Video is king this year on Instagram. TikTok, as another platform, has kind of reinforced that. Creating an IGTV series for your brand can kind of be like this podcast, right? We post this podcast on IGTV as another communication point with our audience. But you as a brand can also start an IGTV series and start building up a regular schedule and regular content that will encourage consistent engagement. Because if you have people tuning in every week or every other week to view your IGTV, that's going to build some, brand loyalty that will overlap into to sales, right? Kind of on the same front of IGTV is videos. Again, posting more videos on your feed is gonna drive more engagement and more audience growth. I think when it comes to videos, some of the trends that we're seeing this year is that you really want to be personable and relatable, and not just for video, also for your posts. Kind of the very tailored, filtered approach to Instagram is on the decline, and the more personable, more unfiltered content, again, think of TikTok, is on the incline. And interestingly, selfies people really like still, and that kind of goes back to the personable, relatable aspect. And in fact, there's a statistic that says that photos with faces get 38% more likes. So just something to consider there, really, you know, adding that human touch and that human feel. Dariya, on the advertising side of things, is that kind of in line with what you see with running Instagram ads, or are there any differences when it comes to ads?
Definitely, video content and video ads are the king, or the most performing content that you can use for Instagram advertising. If you're creating Instagram ads, just make sure that the ads, the video itself, can explain everything about the product on mute, because a lot of people have their Instagram stories on mute. So make sure that the video is explanatory itself without the sound. Also, for the videos, as you said, currently long videos are not performing well. So make sure they're short enough. So 10 to 15 seconds is the optimal length of the video. And I really like you notice about the faces in the imagery. So whenever you create an ad, make sure that there is a smiling human face, because we actually run a lot of tests and there is studies on that. Whenever you show the imagery of the product itself, or if you have a second image with a person smiling next to that product, that photo will always perform the best. So it definitely aligns with the type of content you should use for your Instagram. Same for the ads.
Excellent. Yeah. And, you know, if you're thinking, how do I get video content? I'm not a video creator. It just seems like such an obstacle to get over. That's where influencer marketing or user generated content can be really helpful. So influencer marketing in general is an audience growth tip, of course, but more specifically working with micro and nano influencers. That's where you're going to see the highest engagement rate, most bang for your buck, most likely. And kind of our strategy here is that, you know, we usually work with micro and nano influencers. So there's varying definitions, but I think, you know, micro, some will say it's 100,000 followers or less. Some will say it's 50,000 or less. Nano, some will say it's under 20,000. Some will say it's under 5,000. So really, we kind of just look at micro and nano as really like under 50,000. And the reason for that is because those influencers are most likely to work on a product for post collaboration. Product for post, meaning, you know, they're not going to charge a fee to work with them, at least not the first time. And we're going to gift them product, and they're going to, you know, deliver on, you know, either videos, photos, posts, you name it. So that's a really good way to go about kind of getting some video content, is reach out to the influencers that are in your niche. You know, we'll have another podcast specific to influencer marketing, but, you know, build up that influencer list, reach out to them, and make one of the deliverables video content. And of course, you know, make sure to get their agreement to repurpose that video content on your own platforms. And I think, you know, with influencers, just again, in general, if you see influencers that are working well, double down, triple down on those influencers. That's the time to really show those influencers that you care about them, that you want this to be a long-term partnership. And what that'll do on Instagram is that'll build a higher brand affinity. You know, if the influencers are already working, the more the audience grows, the more often their audience sees your brand, you know, the more the stronger the brand affinity and the stronger the trust with your brand. And something specific to Amazon, when you're having these influencers drive from Instagram to Amazon, give them a link, right? And they can put that link in their bio. They can put the link as a swipe up in their stories, and give them a Pixelfy Me link, which in a previous podcast we talked about. I think it might have been episode 7. We talked about sales attribution and data analytics tools for Amazon's. And one of those tools was Pixelfy Me. So just as a reminder, Pixelfy Me allows you to earn 5% commission back on sales by adding in an Amazon affiliate ID. It also allows you to target a keyword for organic ranking. So now you're not just building brand awareness with the influencer. You're not just building your audience and your engagement on Instagram. You're not just driving traffic and sales, but you're also earning commission and you're driving organic ranking. So that one influencer could really amount to so many different benefits in the long term for your brand on Amazon. So and it's not just with influencers too. You know, anytime you're sharing or driving people from Instagram to go purchase on Amazon, use that Pixelfy Me link. You're just going to get so much more value, and you're going to be able to track sales through that associate's ID that gets built into that link. Aside from influencer marketing, you know, another way that you can grow your audience is, again, going back to being like more personable, more relatable. I actually, Dariya, I'd be interested to hear how this relates to ads, because I feel like it might not be the same case with ads, but what the trend that we've been seeing this year on Instagram with captions and, you know, what copy you're putting into that caption is actually trending towards longer captions. So captions of around 400 characters or about 65 to 70 words are actually driving more engagement and growth of your audience. And again, that goes back to being more relatable, less tailored, really showing more of your brand voice. It's not going to work anymore to just put up a really pretty photo. You got to show some personality, some voice. So yeah, I feel like 400 characters might be a lot for ads. I don't know. What's your recommendation there?
Yeah, it depends on the landing. So, you know, Instagram has a few landing views. It can be Instagram feed, it can be Instagram story, it can be also Instagram explore. It can be, the ad will show up like a Instagram post, right? So it really depends on the landing page that you are using for Instagram ad. But I think less characters is still better, straight to the point, don't be too salesy. As you said, when brands are talking to their customers like their friends, they're very warm, they're very personal. Those ads convert the best. My main, I think, takeout from this, it will be to provide value to your audience, to provide value to your customers, and to be short and on point and straight to the call to action. So if you want people to buy something or you want to tell them more about your product, be very precise about it. I think in this case, it has to be less than 400 characters for sure.
Great. Yeah, no, I think that's really important. So we covered captions, we covered, you know, the type of content, we covered some influencer marketing strategies and specific to, you know, how you want to drive to Amazon. Some other kind of trends that we're seeing is more brand partnerships. So brand partnerships are a really great way, low cost way to get your brand out there and get more exposure. You know, on average, you can expect your reach to double when you do a brand partnership. Of course, it can vary depending on the brand that you're partnering with. And on average, you actually see that brand partnerships are up to 25 times less expensive than digital advertising. Now, of course, the scale of digital advertising is so much more, but brand partnerships are something that you can, you know, pretty easily implement into your Instagram strategy. You know, maybe just set a goal right now of, let's do a brand partnership with one brand a month. And you're probably asking yourself, what does a brand partnership mean? Well, it can be a giveaway, right? So if there's a brand in your industry that is similar, complementary, supplementary, you know, has a similar audience base in whatever way, reach out to them, be like, hey, let's do a giveaway together. We'll post it on our page. You'll post it on your page. Maybe even pool a bunch of different brands together. I've seen where, you know, you can pool a bunch of brands together, and in addition to offering free products from all of those brands, you can also all pool together maybe some cash, right, and add in a cash prize to push it even further. So brand partnerships are a good low cost way, and you know, you can promote those brand partnerships off of Instagram too. You can add in elements to your website, to your email marketing. You know, I know some brands sometimes will they'll throw in like a little sample size of the brand's product into their shipments for a month. So you can get really creative with this and build on it. But at the very minimum, it's going to be a great way to build out your audience and you know, reach new relevant audiences. Aside from brand partnerships, I think going back to video, like one of the types of videos that are really powerful this year are videos that really show you kind of behind the scenes, or a look behind the curtains, if you will. So branded brand story videos that don't just talk about the product, but talk about the people behind the brand. That's going to resonate really well. So, feel free to encourage your employees or your colleagues or whomever to get out there and get on social media. Maybe just put together like once a week, somebody from the team is going to go on a story and they're going to talk about what they do, kind of like an interview or something like that. So there's a lot of ways, low hanging fruit, where you don't have to be too intimidated by having to create, all kinds of in-house video content, but that you can do easily and get your brand out there, right? So definitely recommend, getting the team involved, in addition to influencers and brand partnerships. And kind of going back to the giveaway idea, you can run giveaways with influencers too. It's not just brand partnerships. And you can make a rule of the giveaway, or rather you could have a contest where the audience has to submit their own content to be eligible. So you could run like a free free year subscription, right? Where every month, you're sending, if your product makes sense for that, every month you're sending the winner a subscription of your product, a monthly shipment. And part of that contest could be, submit your best photo using our product outdoors, whatever theme you want to run with. And then you get all these people submitting their photos. You choose the winner, of course, but the value there, in addition to growing your audience and building up engagement, is all the user generated content that you can then repurpose to further your audience growth and engagement. Dariya, have you seen like how does user generated content work on with Instagram ads? I mean, I'm sure it's going to be similar in a lot of ways, but
Yep. So for Instagram ads, I think whenever you want to know what kind of content will resonate with your audience the most, especially in terms of ads, you can actually look at all of your posts, your previous posts, and see which one had the most likes, was the most engaging. And similarly, you can look at all of your user-generated content and look by the hashtag. What kind of posts resonated the most with people? What kind of images or copy? And then you can actually use that to create an ad out of it. You can create a similar image, you can create similar call to actions, and you can convey that message in the ad. I think looking at your Instagram overall and seeing what kind of content performs the best, that's the best strategy for recreating content for your ads. And to add to your point, whenever you can create behind the scenes videos, you can, and if you see some of the videos are performing better than the others, you can always add the budget behind that video or behind the post and promote it. So you can promote it as the ad, or you can add it and promote it on Facebook. So always look at the best performing posts or videos and add money to it and create an ad of it.
Yeah, all great points there, and kind of just to sum up or close out the audience growth topic. Another way that you can drive, people to your Instagram is to cross promote your Instagram content on other platforms. So a very common way that you've probably seen is, adding an IG feed on your website. Other ways, again, probably pretty familiar, are adding call outs into your email marketing campaigns. But, be a little bit more direct with it. Don't just add an icon. If you really want to drive more people to your Instagram, put together some enticing call to action to have them go to your Instagram to find out more. Like maybe you're running that contest, right, that I was talking about earlier, and you don't want to just promote it on Instagram because you also have this audience on your email list. So shout out the contest to your email list, and of course direct them back to Instagram. And chances are a decent chunk of those people on your email list aren't following you on Instagram. So that's a very easy way to just quickly leverage your current audiences at your platforms, bring them back to Instagram, and then, implementing a giveaway or a contest would encourage those people to share your content with other people, and kind of create that multiplier effect that leads to audience growth.
Yep.
Great. Well, I think we talked about a lot here today, as far as audience growth goes, and how that relates to advertising and some of the different ways that you can go about, building out your audience, building out content that engages. Dariya, is there anything else on the advertising front or any other statistics that you wanted to call out?
Yep, just using Instagram in general for Amazon, similar like for Facebook or any other platforms. First of all, I would highly recommend using landing pages, and you can drive traffic from Instagram to your landing pages. So you can actually add it to your story, or you can add it in your post so people can subscribe, and you can grow your email list and then use it for retargeting for Amazon ads. Second is to create sense of urgency. Since stories disappear in 24 minutes or in 24 hours, you can actually include, for example, your recent promotion and say, hey, subscribe here. And people will feel like if they don't subscribe right now, the story will disappear in 24 hours. So I definitely recommend using stories for your Amazon and driving traffic back to Amazon. And as Nick said before, include the Amazon link in your bio and mention Amazon as many times as you can in your stories and in your posts. So you will drive that traffic back to Amazon.
Yeah, that's a great point. And, I think, with a lot of external marketing and advertising back to Amazon, a lot, we talk about this all the time, a lot of the hesitations that we see with the brands that we work with is that it's going to take away from their direct to consumer sales, and that the profit margin might not be as strong on Amazon. But I think what you'll see, and this is what we've found, is that more times than not, the conversion rate for somebody going to Amazon versus your website is substantially higher. Amazon, you usually have about a 15% average conversion rate. Your D2C site, depending on your category, might be more between 1% to 4%, if that. So just keep that in mind and test it out. You don't have to go all in right away. Test. Look at the data. Look at the insights that Dariya was mentioning. If your account should be set up as a business account or a creator account, you'll have access to all kinds of analytics. You can see, the demographic breakdown, which hashtags worked best, all that type of thing. So look at the analytics. If you're driving to Amazon and using Pixelfy Me, you also have analytics through there. If you're driving to an Amazon brand store, you can use a link there, which also provides analytics and sales attribution. So just test, look at the data, and I think you'll find some success.
Yep, and one thing to add, whenever you create your ads, definitely as an audience, use your Instagram engagers. You can create actually from the Facebook pixel, you can target people whoever engaged with your Instagram posts or your stories or ever liked you. So you can actually create an audience from that, and you can create a lookalike audience. So I definitely recommend doing that to drive traffic back to Amazon.
Oh, I love that. Dropping some nuggets there. Awesome. Well, yeah, no, that's a great call out. And, finding ways like that to just further maximize all these efforts is where you're going to see that hyper growth, right? Because you can do a lot of these things and see some successes, but having like a more strategic approach to it where, you're driving people from your email to a contest that drives your followers up. And then those followers now share your contest or your giveaway with more people, which reaches new people. And then after that, you have all this new audience. And then you can use that data to create a lookalike audience that you then advertise to, so on and so forth, right? So anything that's working, figure out how to double down on it, whether organically or through paid ways. And that's just going to further, again, maximize the results of all this hard work and effort. So yeah, I think we went over a lot today. Hopefully you all found this interesting and useful, and have some takeaways that you can go ahead and implement. I think we're definitely we're definitely going to have some more podcasts on Instagram. We've got probably a future podcast that we're going to release about hashtag tricks. that on its own is its own episode. So tune in the future. We'll go over some hashtag tricks, because that is a big audience growth driver for 2020, and has proven so in the past. But yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. As always, feel free to reach out to Dariya and I and the rest of the Vendo team by emailing us at social@vendocommerce.com. In the description below, there should be links to where you can subscribe to our email list. Subscribing to our email list will allow you to be notified weekly when we release a new podcast. It'll also put you on our email list to receive blogs and case studies with more, in-house written content, maybe some guides. So a lot of what we're talking about, you can have a written reference to look at. So be sure to subscribe to our newsletter, and then whichever channel you like to listen to podcasts on, whether it's Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, YouTube, IGTV, just be sure to follow us on there so you're not missing out on any knowledge for e-commerce. But yeah, thanks everyone, and have a great day.
Thank you, and follow us on Instagram, Vendo Commerce.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. Vendo Commerce on Instagram, vendocommerce.com on Facebook, Vendo Commerce on TikTok. We're stepping up our TikTok game. If you didn't see the last episode about TikTok, be sure to go check it out. We'll have more social media coming in the future. Going to be announcing some other diverse topics, talking about creative optimization. So a lot of fun stuff coming down the road that we look forward to sharing with you.